What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 95 of the Nonsense Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, ho, ho. I forgot to do that last week, but yeah, it's Christmas time still.
Now, this is the final Nonsense Review before Christmas. Just a quick reminder, seeing as we're on here, me, or rather Rick and I, shall I say, don't like to record during Christmas week. We like to have that week off, so next week there will be no Nonsense Review, no non-stop review, and no Nonsense Retrospective, but we'll be back to normal the week after.
I'm just internally chuckling if you left it as me, then it'd be me no do work on Christmas Day.
Yeah, today we were going to do Sonic Prime. Unfortunately, things have cropped up. We've got a very limited amount of time to record today. So instead, we're going to pull out one of our episodes in reserve, and we're going to do our weeks before that. So once we finish discussing our weeks, you will hear some fun hypotheticals. That being said, Rick, should this episode be We Bear Bears or Adventure Time?
I think We Bear Bears. Ice Bear is a good stand-in for Christmas.
Yeah, and the episode of Adventure Time we did was a bit grim.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, anyway, with that in mind, Rick, for the last time this year, I think, how's your week been, buddy?
Reasonable. So I finally got round to watching all of Farzar, and I finally finished it, and it was all right. Like, I think it was better than like later seasons of Paradise PD. And if you're watching this now, that means the new season of Paradise PD is out, and that's a bit of a stinker. I think Farzar was more fun. It just so happened that the first episode was a bit of a struggle, and it wasn't good reaction material.
I will gladly wear this flag in that I went in expecting to hate it anyway, so that didn't help.
Yeah. I was hoping for something at least fun, and then got disappointed.
There was a lot of jokes that just, you didn't need it to be in the space setting, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's Brickleberry in space again. But yeah, other things. I've been playing Vampire Survivors almost non-stop since it became free on the good old mobile, and I think I've unlocked most of what a casual player can unlock, and I'm still playing it.
Hey, fair do. Like, I own Vampire Survivors on Steam. I bought it after playing Hollow Cure. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the base gameplay is fun. I get it.
Yeah, the core gameplay loop being a bit of a roguelite, where it's a reverse bullet hell. You are the one creating the bullet hell, and the roguelite aspect is that you can upgrade your board in between runs. But things out in the world, these are both things that have come in recently. Henry Cavill has been axed as the new Superman.
Yeah, we've been having... We had quite a lengthy discussion literally yesterday as of recording over this whole thing. I don't know what your views are. You were relatively quiet. You chimed in with nerd shit, but you didn't chime in on the actual matter at hand. But my point of view is Gunn wants to remake the universe from scratch because that's what he's basically been hired to do. I don't blame him. I don't see any particular reason why you can't recast the same actor in the reboot, because I bet you any money Margot Robbie's still going to be Harley Quinn.
Yes.
But, you know, it is what it is. I feel bad for Henry Cavill because he's now lost two roles he clearly really adored. But at the end of the day, he'll be fine. He'll grieve. The fans will grieve.
Again, yeah. As an actor, he'll be fine. Fans of him as an actor are already behind him for getting other things out in the world. But yeah, excited to see what he gets into in future. Saddened that he's not going to be part of things that we know about already.
Fantasy scenario is if they want to eventually go fucking multiverse route like Marvel, is get the Dark Justice League storyline going, and Cavill would be perfect for that version of Superman.
The other thing is also something that's cropped up incredibly recently, in that Ash is retiring from Pokemon.
Yeah, I haven't clicked this or anything, but I'll be honest with you, it makes sense to just have every new gen have a new pro tag.
It's made sense for a while, and it's just been a case of how are they going to write Ash into the new series this time, and I think they've finally gotten to the point where they kind of can't. They've already had Ash going to school in Gen 7. Having him go to school again in Gen 9 is just going to be really condescending.
Well, yeah, but again, they should have done it with Johto, because Ash's design was based on Red. He's not Red, but it was based on Red, so much so that, you know, Ash is a default name in the original Pokemon games.
I can understand them still using Ash for Johto, because the Johto games really are sequels to Kanto. Like, because they are literally connected.
Yeah, but they gave him the OC Orange Island fucking arc, so they didn't need to. I'm just saying...
Yeah, I totally get you.
It always makes sense that the protagonist in each game always gets a new design. They have a canon name, and more recently, that's not even an option. You can selecting game because you can just type in your own name and that's the only option, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, just make the OCs, every region's its own thing, have Ash become a legacy champion.
Yeah, I think at the latest they should have done this starting with Gen 3. But oh well, that didn't happen. Yeah, now that Ash has become the champion of champions, he's retiring. We even got told at the beginning of that arc that at the end of this, one of the champions is going to retire. Everyone thought it was going to be Diantha because nobody fucking remembers her. But yeah, that's enough about things that I have seen in the world. I think you said you had a few things to talk about. So, how has your week been and what have you seen in the universe?
I immediately binge-watched and rewatched the first episode of Dragon Age Absolution.
Yes.
I won't talk about it much because I know you want to watch it. I want you to watch it as soon as possible because I want to do a retro on this series. It was fun. It was great. Let's talk about it.
It might even be the first retro of the new year.
Who knows? I'm hoping so. Alright, do you want some news?
Yeah, let's shall.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this was a resurfaced interview because I swear she said this before, but an interview went out where she claimed her role in the Hunger Games was the first female lead in an action movie. And as I read that, I scream, fuck off, Alien exists.
Yeah. Also Tomb Raider. She was alive for that.
And also Terminator 2. Fuck you, I don't care. Sarah Connor's the protag in that film.
Yep.
But anyway, that was just me. I wanted to express my outrage at this absolute bullshit claim, which I don't know why she made it. She wants to make her role more important than it was, I guess. I don't know. Hunger Games is kind of irrelevant now.
Yeah, it was like, 6 years ago now?
Dude, I didn't even watch it when it was out. I wasn't invested in the franchise.
Yeah. I saw the first movie, years after it was out. And also, I read the Battle Royale manga, so it was basically the same thing.
Well, it's its own genre, isn't it?
Yeah, it is now. It's a game type, and therefore it has to be a genre.
Yeah. In other annoying news, D&D wants more money. Do you know how they want to make more money?
Yeah, they want to make it into a constant revenue stream like a video game could be if they were releasing something new every year, or DLC, or battle passes.
Yep, and the D&D meme subreddit is flooded with piracy memes.
Yep. Literally, Gygax said the only reason that he's distributing his rules is in case people can't come up with their own. Right at the back of in the original times. Anything that the D&D brand was back then is something that you could have just done with make-believe and dice on a table. And to be fair, it's kind of what a lot of people still do anyway.
Well, yeah, the amount of times where, I remember when we were part of someone else's campaign and I argued like a bastard with the DM about the flanking rule because it made no sense.
Yeah.
Fortunately, other people at the table also thought that, so it wasn't just me being a prick for the sake of being a prick, but But yeah, it's one of those where it's a side effect of capitalism because D&D makes money. It's got a flow of income that hasn't stopped, that hasn't slowed. They're plateaued. They're still making money. It's just the same amount consistently. But because of the way capitalism works, if they're not increasing that line even slightly, that means they're failing because they don't want enough money to make a living. They want all the money.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you are a publicly traded company in America, you are required by law to attempt to increase profits year on year.
Which is bollocks.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the only way to increase money is to do illegal shit.
Oh yeah, totally. Or something that's technically legal, but everyone will look at you and think that it's scummy.
Yeah, like looking at you, Leslie, giving African mothers who can't afford anything your dry formula for free, but just enough for them to stop producing natural milk and then start charging them for it.
Yep.
That is the most scummy thing I can think of the top of my head. Also, in the part of Africa they were selling it to, or attempting to sell it to, their water is disgusting, and they needed the water to make the food. So, if you can, don't buy from Nestle, ever.
Unfortunately, it's very difficult to stay clear of Nestle because they seem to have a finger in every pie.
There's 5, this is a bit of a kick in the teeth, bottled water companies that they fucking own as well. So it's just double dipping into that fucking evil. Anyway, boy, we went off track from the D&D talk, but yeah, D&D's probably going to monetize themselves in a really fucked up way, which is going to increase piracy, because of course it is. I do understand to a certain degree where they're coming from, where, we can make more money because at the moment only 1/6 of people playing the game actually need all the material, and that is the DM.
Yeah.
But doing it like this, you're going to lose more people in your game.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is make the official stream being every player has an account, which is what they tried to do with D&D Beyond.
Yep.
The idea is every player has an account, every player buys the material, and if they put out 2 books a year that's player materials, cool. If they put out 2 books a year that's DM materials, cool. The DM doesn't need the player materials, he can get it from them, but, it just means that someone is buying 2 books a year.
It's just, we want more money, we don't want more people playing the game, and again, one of the big ones is, I think it's Pathfinder. I forget if it's Pathfinder or a different tabletop game, but a lot of memes are just like, hey, these rules are always free.
Yes.
So if D&D fucks you off, there are alternatives.
Yeah, when Pathfinder 2 puts out a full-price book, all the rules that are in the book are, by their design, able to be reposted. So there's a thing called Archives of Nethys. It's named after the god of knowledge and the setting.
That's great.
And it's got all the rules. And it's, Paizo just gone, this is the company that makes it, they've gone, okay, we're going to sponsor this wiki. It's now going to be the official wiki.
Fair.
So, yeah, it's maintained by fans, because the fans are the ones that are most likely to notice when something is wrong.
Yep.
And yeah, it works really well. I've never had to buy a Pathfinder book, and because we've never had to buy them, we've wanted to buy them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's kind of like Helltaker being free, but if you want to fling money at the creator, there's a Pancake DLC which costs $1.99, and if you buy it, it's a recipe for pancakes. But they make it very clear that what you're actually buying is you're basically giving Van Ripper a tip.
Yeah.
In other news, Trump made an announcement. Did you see this?
Oh, I've been trying to stay clear of the guy. Go ahead.
His big announcement that he was hyping up and everyone thought was going to be him, well, I say everyone, all of the crazies thought was going to be him announcing some surefire plan to get back into office, was in fact he is selling virtual trading cards with pictures of him on, which are actually just NFTs. Also, they cost $99.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't worry though.
Oh.
All you need is an email address and a way to give him $99 and you can own one of these cards. He accepts credit cards and cryptocurrency, which the mighty have fallen. I remember there was a time where Trump was always seen as a really good and excellent businessman. It wasn't true, but he put out that image and now he looks like a carny hack.
Yeah. Well, he was a carny hack when he was using the Oval Office to sell cans of beans.
Well, yeah, of course, but when I say, this beyond a shadow of a doubt, anyone who flogs NFTs looks like a twat.
This is Alex Jones level of bullshit.
Yeah, but even Alex Jones got to a certain point where he lost and now he's trying to fucking be like, I'm just going to keep my head down for a bit. And then he got that Kanye shit on him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
oh boy,
there's a video, it was like 2 minutes long, of Trump trying to sell these cards. And again, he's like, they're baseball cards, but they're virtual. Not fucking baseball cards then, but whatever. But the artwork is him through various points of his career. There's one, Rick, of his face on top of a body that is clearly not his, as he tries to take off his suit and reveals a Superman-esque logo beneath. It's so fucking arse-sniffy. Oh, so self-indulgent. Like, half of it is he desperately needs money, the other half is he still needs to wank his ego.
Yeah. I think the only one that would actually be in any way relevant to how he actually is, it's just if he had his face pasted on top of Poochie as he was being, hoisted to the heavens, cell by cell.
But you got to remember that he's the one who commissioned these, so they're not going to be bad. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you ready for the final news story?
Yeah, let's go.
Scientists have finally found the long mythical clitoris on a snake.
Oh!
Scientists have been doing what scientists do, and that is discover shit. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with reptile genitalia, it's all kind of weird because it's all inside the body, even the male stuff, because cloacas are weird. But yeah, because snakes are weird, they kind of don't want to fuck around with them too much. They don't want to do harm to them. So it's taken them a while to actually bother getting around to how their organs work. And it turns out snakes have a clit, but not just one, they have two.
Okay.
So how come I found out about this? Well, the Monster Girl subreddits are having a fucking field day, posting a lot of pictures of Mia blushing, going, "Oh, so you finally found it."
Finally found them, even.
So yeah, it's an amusing news story in and of itself. But the only reason it came to my attention is because the Monster Girl community be going nuts.
Yeah, that's great.
And yeah, so that's about it for news in the wide world. What's going to happen now, guys, is because we're doing a pre-recorded episode today, because of the troubles, I'm going to throw over to Past Me and Past Rick, where we're going to exchange hypotheticals and then watch the first ever episode of We Bare Bears. So, Rick, is there anything you want to say?
I guess just take it away, past us. Yes, we're going into our time-honored tradition of the nonsense, asinine hypotheticals. Do you have one for me today?
I do, and it's a bit of a boring one that I had to pull out my bum, because I'm just looking at the screenshot of the Golden Gate Bridge, and I gotta ask, Rick, is there one landmark in the world that you would most want to just visit, that you haven't already visited?
Ones that I've not visited the Great Wall of China.
Do you want to go see that, dear?
I kind of do, because, it's a big wall. Yeah, it's just long. However, it's kind of incredibly impressive how that was built with so much slave labor in the past with, the different engineering sensibilities, and I kind of want to see how far it seems to go. Like, I've seen things that go off into the distance. Normally, it's not something man-made. So yeah, I'd want to see that.
Well, may I suggest visiting one a bit local and just go to Hadrian's Wall?
I've been to Hadrian's Wall. Like,
it's just fucking rubble now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can walk on the rubble bits, no problem. Yeah, we've been to Hadrian's Wall. We went to see that when we were doing. In fact, of all things, it wasn't a history trip; it was a Latin trip.
Okay, it was Roman, so
yeah, it was Emperor Hadrian that had it erected. Yeah,
and much like the Great Wall of China, it didn't fucking work.
No, the Scots went round it.
The Scots didn't even go round it; they went over it because it's only like a foot tall.
Yeah,
I exaggerate. It wasn't quite, but it wasn't tall enough to stop a fucking angry Scot in a kilt.
No, or two angry Scots on top of each other.
But yeah, Great Wall of China's not a bad pick. In fact, I'd say it's quite a decent one. Would you like to walk all of it, or just walk a segment of it, or just see it? What's the deal there?
I think I'll walk a curated segment.
Oh, like have a guide.
Yeah, so like if there is a guided tour, then I'll walk the curated segment that the guided tour goes on.
I have to imagine there's got to be many different type of guided tours for the Great Wall of China.
Oh yeah, because you can. Like, the idea is once you've walked on a bit of it, you've walked on it all pretty much. But the idea is you get the experience of being on something so massive.
Yeah, I feel you.
And it basically doesn't matter where you go on and where you come off, as long as you've got a little bit of more grounding than just, oh yeah, I'm on a wall now. So having a guide is great because the guide can tell you like bits of lore, bits of history and stuff like that.
This is the bit where the Mongols just straight up fucking walk through it because we weren't guarding this bit at the time.
Yeah.
I still can't fucking believe that. Oh. But yeah, sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked there. Did you have one for me?
My one for you is you are now a performer in a medieval king's court. What would you do to entertain him?
Get my dick out and masturbate. I don't know. I haven't really got it. I can't really do observational humour for a fucking king.
Well, with the asterisk of, yeah, you can be understood. You fit in.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's still like, oh yeah, them cows, eh? Ain't they funny colours? I haven't really got any performing talents apart from, I feel like you and I are quite a good duo in regards to fucking taking a piss out of shit we're watching.
Okay.
But, it's not really something you can do in a medieval setting.
Fair enough.
So what am I, just an entertainer or am I specifically a jester?
You're any kind of entertainer. Like, the implication is it's meant to be a jester, but if you have another idea, then cool. Like, if you want to do karaoke, neat.
I can't sing. Could barely hold a tune. I think I even said it on the podcast. The only time I can hold a tune is when there's a room full of concert goers also singing at the same time, so you can't really hear my voice.
Fair enough.
Which I think is cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know it would have to be slapstick, but I'm pretty sure I'm not good at that. So
fair enough.
Unless it was a particularly perverted member of royalty, like one of my hentai games, I think I'm fucked, and not in the fun way.
Not in the fun way, no.
But yeah, what are we doing today, Rick?
Today we are doing We Bare Bears. This is something that I once found out about from Imagura when it was in a big old lull, which turned out to be a lull and not it being cancelled or finished, because they continued it, and I believe it still continues to this day.
At the moment, it's continuing in the form of a spin-off known as We Baby Bears.
Yeah, just like, was it that camp Total Drama Island? It's now a camp and then a baby version of itself. Yeah, that's gone on far too long. But hopefully this one is a lot more fun, because when I saw an Imagura, the things that I saw looked very fun. So if you'd like to watch along with us at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, oh fuck. Mine didn't play immediately, but I think we're fine. Yeah, so we got the main cast of Grizz, Panda, and Polar.
Yep. Ice Bear.
Yeah, right, he is Ice Bear. I've always called him Polar.
Yeah, he's a polar bear called Ice Bear.
I've called him Polar because of fucking Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, the baby spin-off of this isn't too bad because they did episodes in We Bare Bears where it was flashbacks to when they were babies. So
yeah, so they already essentially had, for want of a better term, the character models.
Yeah. Oh, and Panda's a massive fucking weeb.
Yeah, Panda's a weeb, and Ice Bear always talks about himself in the third person.
Yeah, Ice Bear is scary.
Oh, yeah. They even address it on the show about how even the other bears are scared of Ice Bear when they have to go into his sanctum.
Yeah. Like, you're just showing off, you prick. That would be terrifying.
Yep.
Man, it's impressive to see a big fella able to dunk like that.
Oh, you leave him hanging? Oh. Yeah, he throws it with his bare strength every time.
Yeah. What? The thing is, if Grizz had a bit more accuracy, he'd be a pretty good basketball player because he'd be scoring 3-pointers all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Cool, scores 17-1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 20-1.
That was unnecessary.
Hmm.
Your bag.
I like when their eyes go massive.
I get you. I think I foresee the end of this episode is they did not get jacked. Someone turned it into Lost and Found.
Yeah, it might be where they meet the girl from the opening, whose name escapes me, but I believe her surname is Park.
Maybe. I don't think they meet her in the first episode. I think they meet her a bit later on.
Fair enough.
Do fucking parking officers in San Francisco really ride away on those Segway things?
Before Segways were banned, yes.
Huh.
I think Segways were one of those things that they only lasted a few years before the inventor of it went off a cliff.
Did he?
Yeah, like it was it was like a high profile thing that the inventor of the Segway just went off a cliff on a Segway.
But I don't understand that because, like, even if it's going at its top speed of like 10 miles an hour, you could just step off it.
Yeah, I think he was on his phone or something.
Okay, well that's negligence. It's not the machine's fault.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I know I'm being a bit of a dick by saying this, but do you not think that's just natural selection at work?
Mm-hmm.
In case you didn't know he's a weeb.
Increasingly angry weeb.
There was a time I actually remember when we went to see Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
We went to chill in a bar nearby, and we just slipped in. The bar was empty as fuck, and we went in, sat on the table right by the door, and one of our buddies was just like, "Hey, do we have to order something to sit here?" And I went, "Listen, here's what you do: is you just sit here until a member of staff comes up and says you're gonna order something, and then you order something." Because we're just sitting here till the movie starts. A member of staff came over about half an hour later and said, it's not table service. And it's like, oh, yeah, we know that. It's like, oh, you're going to order something? It's like, yeah, I'll have a Coke. That's it. Like,
Fair enough.
That's the story. Like, just because you think you have to order something to sit somewhere, it doesn't mean you can't get some free time out of it.
It reminds me of McBain of, that's the joke.
Birds are intelligent as shit. Do not underestimate them. Underestimate them. Look at that Ash Ketchum looking ass.
I know someone put up that thing of pigeons, saying that pigeons are almost perfectly domesticated and then just abandoned. So all the pigeons that you see are essentially just homeless domesticated creatures.
To a certain degree, if you factor in what the world wars and whatnot.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the real way that pigeons were domesticated is that we brought their habitat to them. Like, they're essentially no different from rock doves. So it's just a rock dove that gets called a pigeon because it's in the city.
Okay.
And rather than being up a cliff, they live in buildings.
I mean, I did know pigeons were just doves.
Yeah.
I think this is the episode where they meet that character, because I think, well, they're at the library and that's where that character pretty much lives.
Hmm.
What?
Oh, because he stole the t-shirt.
Oh, that makes no sense.
I know, right?
That's not good.
Fucking printers.
I mean, it's also not going to work because the person might move.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who don't have to use fucking public area printers, they are all useless like that.
Oh, like, even ones that you own yourself are crap. If you've ever had a good printer, it's because it was the day that you bought it.
Maybe so.
I do like how they generally walk about in stacked formation.
It's very weird the first time you watch it, the first time you see it.
But it's very definitely a marketable thing.
Oh, yeah. I spell fuck him up.
Hmm.
I generally feel like this is a red herring and this is like an accidental. Like,
it's just a dude that happens to have the same colour backpack.
Yeah, and if he did take their backpack, it was literally just, oh, I thought it was mine.
3 bears behind your sofa would be terrifying, though.
A unknown dog would be terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck that. That was a proper bear growl as well.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to go out the window on its own, but yeah.
Same. How casual fucking Ice Bear was just like, stop that.
Ice Bear's always casual. That's like his defining character trait.
A little bit. I'm amazed they called the police and not animal control. Oh, look at that. I was going to say, check the rest of the bag just in case.
Yep.
To be fair, famous artists do that all the time, and then knobheads.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not talking, guys. There's really not much to say.
Yeah. To be honest, if they got up there on the fucking fire escape, they can climb down on the fire escape. Why did they leave? Why did they take the backpack even when they realise it's not theirs?
Because otherwise it would fall on the floor and damage it. Amazing. I'm just getting fucking papyrus flashbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the pigeons all along.
I love the little bandanas.
I love that.
Ice Bear bought these legally, yeah.
The pigeon cartel. Fuck me. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Man, imagine how much how much trouble the person who parked the car that they stole the ticket off would be in for ignoring a ticket.
I mean, not that much, dude. It's just like, alright, I don't know how it works in the US, but in the UK, it's like, pay this fine within, it's like usually like 3 months, like 100 days or something, and it's half the price that it would be normally.
Yeah, and if you don't pay it, then either they come after you, or if it's privately owned, they don't, because they can't afford to.
And also, if it's privately fucking owned, they, technically speaking, can't enforce it.
Yeah, because it's not legal. It's basically just debt collectors at that point. They try to get it off you, and if you just refuse, they just go, oh, come on, be a pal. Oh, you're mean.
Anyway, what do you think of the episode?
It was fun. I can see how this could become a long-standing and beloved new addition to the Cartoon Network repertoire.
Absolutely, man. Like, I feel like it came from like a second... You know that how there's always like 3 cartoons you can point to from any era, and it's just like, those are the 3 main ones, or the 3 ones that almost everyone enjoys. I think this came up around the same time of OKKO and something else maybe. But, you know, it came quite a while after Regular Show and Adventure Time and that, so I kind of led the charge of a second resurgence, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and other than the existence of mobile phones and the internet, it's pretty timeless as well so far. So I see this holding up very well in the future.
Absolutely, and you've not even met Bigfoot yet.
No, he was in the opening. I think I've seen him in an episode that I've just managed to catch on Cartoon Network at some point in my life.
Yeah, that's one of the beauties of Cartoon Network with this short episode format, is you do just catch random episodes. Because they're so short, you see something and like the gag might last like 10 seconds, and you're like, well, I've got 10 minutes, fuck it, I'm seeing how this plays out.
Yeah. And with it being 10 minutes, you get the entire episode before an ad break. Yeah. But how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to echo your thoughts. It's good, it's interesting. The art style isn't what I would call unique, but it's I think it's a damn sight better than typical adult animation, shall we say?
Oh yeah, the adult animation where it's basically South Park with more realistic faces, you know Archer.
I like Archer, but...
Oh yeah, your 2 choices are Archer or Family Guy style, and yeah.
I mean, I like Archer, but I wouldn't fucking laud praise on its art style.
Oh yeah, Archer is entirely writing.
Yeah. Even that gets a bit stale during certain things. Like later seasons, they rely heavily on just running jokes.
Yeah, and the delivery from H. John Benjamin.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll do our usual wind down, I suppose. And in order to do that, Rick, favourite moment?
Pretty much any Ice Bear moment.
There wasn't many in this episode.
There weren't many, but I think when Ice Bear had to specify to the policeman, Ice Bear bought these legally.
To be fair, pulling out a bunch of throwing stars from your stolen property is not a good look in front of a cop.
No. Yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
The revelation that a pigeon cartel exists. It's pretty fucking funny. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't see it coming.
No, me either. I believe I've seen this episode before, and I forgot that. Plus, it also shows the precedent that there are other sentient animals in the world. It's not just the bears.
True. And this is episode 1, so it's a good precedent to set.
Yeah, it's a good time to set the precedent, yeah.
That being said, we can't only talk about the good, we do have to talk a little bit about the negative. So to that end, Rick, do you have a weakest link for me, buddy?
It's really thin for a weak link, but the fact that they got so easily misled by a comedy of errors, just like breaking into the guy's house when he was completely innocent. But even then, that served the plot. So really, not really. I don't really have much of a weak link for this episode. It was a good episode. How about you? Do you have a weakest link?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, which is always a good thing, I say, when the weak link is the hard thing to think of.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
I think if I've got to give a weak link, it's got to be to that... it's the first episode, so of course nothing is pre-established yet. It establishes everything, but the fact that these bears are in a weird case where they're part of the community but not is a bit of an odd place to start at.
Yeah, they're integrated into society but not part of the community, kind of.
But it's one of those weird things, though, because they were able to like get into the pickup game of basketball with no issues, but then when they were hunting for their stuff, everyone treated them like regular bears.
Yeah, there is a kind of disconnect between like where they are on the sliding scale of animal to human.
But that is me being, like you, incredibly nitpicky.
Yeah, you gotta be nitpicky to come up with something bad off something that was, by all accounts, good.
But let's end on the highlights, shall we? Rick?
Yeah, let's shall.
Who is your MVP?
I'm gonna go with Grizz, because even though he was a bit inept, he led the party, as it were, he led them in a leader-like manner. which is the stupidest thing for me to say, okay. But yeah, he drove the plot in that he came up with the ideas, they went with the ideas, and it just worked out.
And you got to give props where they're due. He led from the front.
Oh yes, he did, absolutely. And also, he has a hell of a basketball arm on him. No accuracy, 100% power.
Hey, that's how I shoot my bow.
Yeah. Actually, I can't really agree too hard because I've not seen you shoot your bow. But yeah, how about you? Who was your MVP?
I'm going to give it to the creator because I'm very sorry I didn't catch the name. It was something Chong. It's a unique show. It's a unique concept to a certain degree. I mean, cartoon animals is far from unique, but the setting of they live in the woods, but they're integrated into the wild. They talk. There's 3 of them. Here's their weird personalities. You've kind of got 2 weeaboos, but like 2 different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. You got you've got a hyper competent mole ninja, and you've got a otaku.
Yeah. Which I love. And Grizz just helps round it out by being the person who actually gets them into hijinks. And the art direction's great. I can't complain about it. I think we've already touched on that.
Yeah, I think Grizz helps by because grizzly bears are kind of native to America. It helps that he is the most American of them.
Yeah, and isn't it telling that he's the dumbest? Yeah. Sorry, American listeners.
He's the dumb one and the leader. That's a bit on the nose, ain't it?
But yeah, on that bombshell, we're going to wrap things up today. I hope you enjoyed our rainy day episode. You probably won't hear it for a long old time. Rick's not even been to Australia yet for this year, in case you want a bit of context.
Yeah, so that's a reality sandwich for you.
Yeah, we've got at least 5 episodes that we've recorded before this that will definitely come out before this, at least.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, please leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Give us some suggestions for the future, perhaps. And yeah, all round, just be friendly.
Yeah, reach out to us if you want to collaborate, if you are also a creator of some kind.
But yes, we don't just have the YouTube video, we also have the audio side of things, and if you're listening via said audio side of things, you can instead send us an email. Where did it say send email to, Rick?
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. And without further ado, ta-ta!
Ta-ra!